What is going on, everybody? This is Andrew from DeFiancy. All right, guys, it is approximately 9:45 Eastern Standard Time, and right now we're looking at Bitcoin. Hopefully, you watched our, weekly primer update from yesterday that kind of goes over where the plan going into this week. We've had a few events that have occurred since we made that video that we want to talk about. That kind of changes our plans maybe a little bit, but for the most part, we're really just going to stick with the plan. But let's just kind of jump into what has happened over the last 24 hours, roughly. If we go and look at Bitcoin here, if you didn't know, Argentina just elected a pro-Bitcoin president, and I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but his name is Javier Milei, or something like that. And this is huge for crypto because he's unapologetically pro-crypto, wants to eliminate the central bank in Argentina. And we know that El Salvador, they were the first real Bitcoin adopting countries. And this is like the second. So this is just undeniably bullish for Bitcoin. And it really is potentially a game changer for other countries that might want to do something similar in the future. El Salvador, it's worked out for them well so far. And now you have Argentina. So I think this is supporting Bitcoin right now in the short term. And I think it will definitely in the longer term as well. I do want to point out though that this doesn't change my opinion on this being a good place to short low time frame. Now I will say this structure now is so bullish after this pullback that I'm not going to be surprised if this breaks considerably higher here. I mean it's just refusing to pull back. But again, I have my rules, and look, you don't want to short this with a lot of leverage here because clearly it's trying to go up. It has strength. I think at this point, what I would say is wait for the reversal. So I would not actually short at this moment. I would just wait for it to start to look weak again. And I mean, on any time frame. I mean, at this point, it's bullish on literally every single time frame. Bullish on the daily. It keeps making higher lows. It's bullish on the 12-hour. It's bullish on the 4-hour. It's bullish on every single time frame. So this is not a great short right now, but we will be looking to short because at this point, the risk-reward favors shorts, even though you do have this Argentina narrative. I do not believe that's going to be enough to really take us beyond 40K or so without some kind of meaningful pullback. We know we have sellers here. So again, it's more or less rules, sticking to your plan. Charts can change pretty quickly, but you definitely want to be careful at this moment because clearly it's bullish. It's not a bearish chart. And you have a narrative, right? So we have to be careful. If you're already long, you're probably just going to sit in your long until it doesn't work, right? Outside of Bitcoin, and we'll come back to this maybe in a little bit, one of the reasons that we got this video out a little bit later than normal is we were hitting some trades on the NASDAQ. We had a beautiful pop this morning. Hopefully you were in the Discord and you caught that with us. Fantastic move. And there's a reason why the NASDAQ has had a really nice pop this morning, at least one of the reasons. I mean, the market in general is pretty bullish, but we have this AI situation that's quite a crazy story if you haven't kept up with this, with the CEO of OpenAI who was like forcefully removed from his position along with another co-founder, I believe. It was kind of crazy. Everybody was just like, up in arms about it, arguing if it was a good idea or a bad idea. But what people didn't expect, at least I didn't expect, was for Microsoft to come out and bring them into Microsoft. So Microsoft actually hired or created some kind of deal with Sam and the other guy that got removed. Forgot his name. But this is a big deal because, that would be, that's a huge asset for Microsoft, right? I mean, that basically puts Microsoft at the tip of the spear if it wasn't already there for AI. And everybody was like, oh, this is so good for Microsoft. Microsoft was up like 2% in the pre-market. And then a few hours later, you have OpenAI, or 70% of OpenAI employees signed a letter to OpenAI's board of directors, which is like four or five people, saying that 505 employees were, signed this, by the way. They threatened to leave OpenAI and join Microsoft, the new Microsoft AI division run by Sam Altman, the CEO or the guy we're talking about, if the board doesn't resign and reinstate Altman and Brockman, who is the other guy that whose name I forgot. Okay, so is that good for Microsoft? Like, I don't know, but you can see how this is kind of like this is kind of a roller coaster ride for investors at Microsoft right now because them bringing on Sam and this other guy is like a really, really big deal. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But that's, that's partially, that's why we're having some of the, some of the volatility with the NASDAQ and specifically Microsoft. So let's go back to Bitcoin here and talk a little bit about that, guys. So again, this is not something you just jump into with a big short. I mean, this thing is incredibly bullish looking. Every day that goes by, it just gets even more bullish looking, which is surprising to me. I didn't expect this, to be quite honest. I thought it was going to try to break down and fill this area out sooner than later. Now, I mean, it's not looking like this. But based off of my rules, I don't long here. I don't add at the top of a range. It's just not. This is just not a good trading strategy by my estimation. If you do scalp it out here with a long, I think that's not the worst thing either. But it's just something I'm not wanting to take part of. I think being patient here is probably the better move, even if you do have to long it higher. I mean, it's just not a good. It's just not good practice to FOMO into something like this, in my opinion. When if you look at this, this is a staircase up, elevator down situation in the making. And again, that might happen higher. But the problem I see with longing here is you just haven't taken out anybody. And what ends up happening is they all get taken out at one time, most likely. Because most of the open interest here that has been accumulating is now going to be just, it's definitely longs, right? Because every time it goes up, shorts get punished. You have punished longs one time here, to be fair. That's probably why you're up here. I mean, that has allowed us, I think, to get higher. But you just keep taking out these shorts. What ends up happening is these longs just get lazy. They get complacent. They don't take profit. You get some kind of news story. Some kind of news hits the internet, and then boom, it's just going to happen all at once. I don't know when that's going to be. I'm not betting on it yet. Like I said, I think it's better to wait for weakness. But I'm just not a fan of just jumping in here right now. If you're long already, good. That's probably, you're probably in a good position. But if you're on the sideline, I mean, this is really just not in your best interest, in my opinion. All right. So what else do we want to talk about? Well, I think that's all we're really going to talk about today. We wanted to keep this short. Come into the Discord if you want to get some more live feedback. I mean, I might change my mind 10 times today when I think about Bitcoin. So we'd love for you to come join the Discord. Until next time, happy hunting, friends.
Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel if you'd like more updates like this, and let us know in the comments, what do you think about today's video and DeFiancy update and insight? Also, make sure that you join our Discord, our free community chat, where we discuss things like this, what's going on in real time. Typically, our Discord community is the first to know what's happening, and we would love to see you there. Check the link in the description. And until then, we'll see you in the next DeFiancy Insight video. Bye for now.